$50 Quant is imminent, and well, in this video we'll be reacting to an interview with the founder of Quant, who goes in detail in the future of QNT, how he believes the Quant token will develop in the coming years, and how Quant will play out throughout this bear market and the coming bull market. We'll be going through some of its potential partnerships and how a $50 Quant is very possible in this bear market. Before we actually get into the interview, I do want to quickly mention the pre-sale we've talked about the other day and the other day before that, why Predict, which has currently raised $3.8 million. It's currently sitting at a pre-sale price of 10 cents. The listing price will actually be 2 cents above, so you'll be in profit once it launches. It is pretty early stages for this project, and the best thing about it is obviously that we're currently when it launches it will be at a $6.5 million market cap, which for an AI project is ridiculously low with a very low supply. So yes, it is a project that I've personally invested in, and I'll be making an update video just like you guys have asked for in one of my older videos in these coming days. We've been pretty inactive, but with that out of the way now, we need to get back into this and tell you a bit more about this interview and exactly how a $50 Quant is actually possible. Now, this is actually the first part of this interview from Neva Quamfi, who actually posted this. QNT and Banque de France, the central bank of France, connection goes back a long way, all the way back to 2019 when it was first mentioned by Gilbert Verdian.
Enterprise, because the customers we're talking to, they've either heard about us and they love the technology. I mean, there was the guy who's head of strategy at a French bank. I went and met him, and it was at a conference that I spoke at, which was Blockchain Live, last month. And I said, "Hi, I'm Gilbert. We founded Overledger," and he's like, "Oh, I know Overledger. We love it. I know everything about it. It came up in our research. We want to use it. Can you come to Paris?" And so we already have customers that are talking about our technology because they know the benefits that it actually brings to them. So enterprise, because...
Now, what does this mean for Quant, and what does this mean for the future of Quant in the short term and long term? Now, of course, in the short term and long term, this doesn't mean much unless you've really been digging in, you've been watching my videos here in Quant, and are currently understanding the potential value of Quant itself. The fact these guys have obviously been even talks, so this is just simply networking and building. If the central bank of France is going to be launching a CBDC, and it comes down to, having to use the Overledger, which really they're gonna have to either use the Overledger or one of Quant's competitors, which at the moment they are lacking compared to Quant. Let's just say they most likely are gonna go ahead with Quant, and we're talking about a nation's central bank going ahead using Quant's Overledger for the central bank digital currency, which is imminent. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. CBDCs are around the corner, and in this case, France, if they were going to launch one, it only makes sense for them to be launching on the Quant Overledger. Is this confirmed? Of course it isn't. However, is it possible? Well, the odds are definitely in the favor of QNT. Right? The fact he's most likely the founder of Quant, Gilbert Verdian, went over to Paris and met up some of the guys that work in the Central Bank of France. The fact they were aware of Quant and their Overledger technology back in 2019, I mean, that itself is a massive deal. This is another video from, I'm pretty sure the same interviewer, but in a different interview. This was posted by the legend himself, Quant. We've been using a lot of his clips that he's been posting on his Twitter, as it's pretty much an archive of just Quant value, right? He really is. But you can see here, this video is just, in my opinion, just perfectly portrays, Quant and its coming steps, and you'll see what I mean.
So what could that mean, Gil, for the Quant network in terms of value, in terms of expansion, in terms of just business, given that you have this pluggability now with a trading platform that's already got the door open to a vast network itself? What does it mean to have that first mover advantage?
Yeah, it's kind of like we're the infrastructure to enable this to happen, and so our code and our technology will be running. Kind of, if you think about it, Wall Street, it'll be running how institutions trade. It'll be running how people do settlements and stuff across networks, and how you can move a JP Morgan coin with a Wells Fargo coin. I mean, we can make that happen.
Do you think Wall Street are even aware of just how big not only the Quant network, but just this technology is going to be and how relevant it's going to be in the future?
Yes, they have recognized, and I think it's only been in the last 6 months, 9 months, they have recognized the potential. They've been looking at it for the last couple of years, thinking, what is this? Is this good for us? Should we look at it? Now that they see the potential, and they're all in. I mean, it's reshaping how Wall Street operates, because it's not a technology benefit only. It's actually a business benefit. So you get access to more investors, more institutions, more assets, more markets,
Right.
And so for them, it's a no-brainer.
Now, why is this a big deal, right? Why is this a big deal? I want to come back to this point right here of the video and just play it back.
Already got the door open to a vast network itself. What does it mean to have that first mover advantage?
The first mover advantage, right? Quant were the first ones to basically, Gilbert Verdin himself founded their, if I'm not wrong, he did obviously found the Quant overledger, but really just the potential of this technology, right? He's the one that founded it. These guys have the first mover advantages, just like how, let's say, Amazon had, actually with eBay, if you want to say, in e-commerce, or if you want to say Netflix when it came to, SaaS subscription models for movies and TV shows or whatever, right? First, these guys were very early on, the first ones to come about, first ones to actually launch the overledger to the public. And this builds just a massive advantage when it comes to funds, trust, reputation, and just status at the moment in the market. These guys are leading the way. If it comes to talk of CBDCs, interoperability, and the future of Web3 and real world usage, Quant is going to be in the conversation, especially if you know what you're talking about. But yeah, that in itself should make us very bullish for the potential of QNT. Now, going back to the video's title, the $50 Quant. Is it possible? When is it gonna happen? My price prediction on how I think this will play out. Now, at the moment, it's a very bearish couple weeks. The fear and greed index is all over the place. It's very fearful right now. The market is very fearful simply because of what's been happening with the FTX situation. Now, if you look at FTX's asset sheet, you can see that Quant isn't publicly listed as an asset they're holding. However, over in their altcoin, the mixed altcoins that they have held in the asset list, it wouldn't be surprising if they were holding a large sum of Quant tokens. And of course, they are going to be liquidating all of these tokens, and Quant could definitely be in the mix. And of course, even if they're not in the mix, which is going to be highly surprising if they're not, we still got to keep in mind that overall the whole crypto market is seeing a huge dump, right? The whole crypto market, this is a black swan event because, people are obviously very fearful with this sell, with everything that's already been happening with crypto. In the short term, we're going to see a lot of red days and a lot of dumps. And tokens like Quant are going to see the repercussions and see dumps like we're seeing across the market. So a $50 Quant is definitely possible. And even with all this price action and the low supply, I can very well see it happening in these coming months. But that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. It's been your boy Cryptomaxi. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.